Good day, everybody. This is meteorologist Mark Molnar. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. We have a lot to talk about today. It's good to be back. Wintry weather. Let's take a look at all the wintry weather we have going on. Starting from lake effect through the rest of the week, we'll have some clipper systems, and we have a rain to mixing and then changing to snow scenario potentially on Monday for parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. So we'll get into details on that. We'll go out further into the 10-day outlook, 15-day outlook, and see if there's any chances for any major storms. And don't forget, as always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the bell button so you are alerted when I come out with one of these videos. And don't forget, there's comment or question section down below. I love to read your questions or comments. And there are timestamps down below in the description if you wish to skip ahead. Let's get right into it. All right, let's take a look at the winter storm confidence scale here. We're taking a look at, this is going into later Monday into Tuesday, early Tuesday, so Monday night. And I'm not that confident that there's going to be any major accumulations here across the Northeast. I mean, I have most areas in the 1 index, maybe 2 across Adirondacks, parts of the northern Catskills, green, white, and Berkshires up here in the Northeast, and into parts of southern Quebec. But for the most part, this isn't the storm we're really looking towards. The one we're really looking towards, take a look at the next one here. And here we go. We're taking a look at the winter storm update potential for Wednesday, December 8th through Thursday, December 9th. I have most of the areas in the green across eastern Ohio, Pennsylvania, parts of western Maryland, and into New York State, and central and northern New England, into Quebec and southern Ontario. So right now it seems like the Euro is further to the east and more of an open wave. Lesser snowfall amounts with the Euro. GFS is a bit further closer to the coast, not as far west though as the CMC. It does bring in some of the heaviest snow just west of the I-95 corridor, as I'll show you in the upcoming model data later in the segment here. And also with the CMC, that is further west. That puts the rain snow line much further west, and the heaviest snow accumulations across western New York, western Pennsylvania, northern New York into northern New England. So right now I have you in a 2 across northern New York, Adirondacks, White, and Berkshire's Mountains, and the Green Mountains, and stretching onto the northeast. So let's get right into the models and break all the model data down for you. All right, let's take a look at the GFS. We'll start off with the models, see if there's any good chance of snow here across the east. Early Friday morning across the Northeast, we're still dealing with scattered rain showers, changing over to scattered wet snow showers here in parts upstate New York, Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and Maine. We might see an inch or two, especially above 1,500 feet here, but most of the valley locations will be either slushy or nothing at all. And that continues to pull out through the rest of the day. We clear things out. Here we're trying to scour it out here across the southeast as well. And then we get some sort of return flow here on the backside of high pressure, some snow showers developing early Saturday morning. So we could have some flakes here in northeast Pennsylvania, parts of eastern Michigan, southern Ontario. And that lifts to the north here as we have this clipper type system across southern Ontario. And that continues to push to the northeast. We may get some light accumulations, a ½ inch of snow out of this, maybe up to an inch in some of those ridge tops. But Sunday, high pressure is in control across much of the east. We will see some showers here across parts of the mid-Mississippi River Valley. But look at this. We got an area of moderate snow here across northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and northern Minnesota. And that pushes to the northeast here. We still have snow showers by early Monday morning here. So we'll be getting some accumulation here in the northern Great Lakes, but I cannot get you any snow here across parts of the Ohio Valley and Northeast. Look at that warm front. You can tell, see that bend in the isobars? That right there is the warm front pushing to the northeast. And unfortunately, we just don't see for any of you people that love snow until later Monday afternoon. Now, the GFS is backing off just slightly on the amount of wet snow that starts to mix in later in the day on Monday, but still, it's there. You can see it. And we put that into motion, and look at that, snow on the backside into Monday night. Places like Binghamton, Albany, Syracuse. I'm thinking probably about 1, maybe 2 inches of slushy accumulation as this front moves through. It depends on how much moisture gets trapped behind this front. It's not the best scenario for snow accumulations. These historically don't pan out very well, but then high pressure builds in behind it, and for midweek next week, we have the chance of overrunning precipitation here in the Northeast again, potential for snowfall. Look at that. And it tries to form some sort of coastal system here. Look at that. This is late Wednesday, early Thursday of next week. So we'll have to watch this. A lot can change between now and then, but the pattern is supportive. And look at that. Low pressure off the northeast coast here. Snow continuing inland, and then that moves out to sea. Let's get into the CMC model, see if it shows anything similar. We have the snow pulling away on your Friday here across the Northeast. Look at even some lake effect streamers kicking in. CMC is really doing good with these lake effect streamer events lately. We put that into motion for Saturday, not really picking up much of the snow that the GFS was picking up on. So perhaps this isn't going to be much of a big deal. But then we get into Sunday. There's that warm front pushing across the Northeast here. And snowfall continuing moderate at times across parts of Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and northern Minnesota here. And that low pressure pushes to the northeast, getting a little bit stronger here on the CMC, pushing a lot of warm air and rainfall out ahead for your Monday morning. And look at this, the CMC is still pretty bullish on putting a lot of this rain over to snow by later in the day across western New York, western Pennsylvania. And then we push that, look at that. We push that lake effect bands really picking up here off Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, maybe a Georgian Bay connection here as well into early Tuesday morning. Look at that. Look at that fetch there. That could be a pretty intense lake effect snow band north of Syracuse up towards Oswego and Fulton. And then look at that. High pressure crests overhead. Let's see what it shows with, oh, look at this. This is really interesting. We'll have to watch this because that right there bears some watching. I mean, low pressure here. This would be a favorable track for snowfall across the Northeast, and it intensifies it pretty rapidly, although it does change it over to rain, places like Binghamton and Albany teetering right on the rain. So we'll have to see how much warm air gets into the system, whether this pans out or not. But the pattern is supportive, and look at that, 987 millibars. We'll have to see if this verifies eventually. So there you have it. All right, for your snowfall, let's take a look at the GFS first. Let's take a look, go through this. Here we go. So this takes us through early Saturday. Not much here. We could pick up to a quarter, half an inch of snow. That's what that system that's overrunning here, Alberta Clipper style system. And in northern New England here, 1 to 2 inches. Then we put this into motion for, this gets into later. Wow, look at all that snow up there in Wisconsin, Minnesota. Going to be some warning criteria snows up here. Definitely, and look at that southern Ontario as well. We put that into motion Monday. Doesn't really show too much snow accumulation. That's probably because it'll be very wet snow and it'll be rain to snow. That doesn't always pan out great for snow accumulations because it's not that light, fluffy accumulation. But look at that. By Wednesday morning, picking up 2 to 3 inches general here across parts of the Northeast and piling some more snow on top of that into Thursday with that next system. So that next system, middle to later part of next week, bears watching. Anywhere from 3 to as much as 6 inches here across the Northeast. We'll have to see what the trends show on that. And then the CMC, let's back this up. We'll take this through Monday, later Monday. CMC is showing a little bit more bullish here on the snow, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches. And then the lake effect bands off Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. Look at that, 6 to as much as 10 inches of snow. There, it's showing a lot of snow. There it is. So definitely looking at some sort of a first major snow of the season up here in parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Michigan here, southern Ontario, Quebec. Looking pretty interesting. And then we head out throughout the week. There we go. CMC, look at that. Piling it on. Wow. So if you live in the North Country up here, if this verifies, you'll be seeing quite a bit of snow. I'd like to see more run-to-run consistency, though, before we get into exact numbers. So definitely something to watch here. Look at that. Even 1 to 2 inches parts of Pennsylvania, 3 to 4 right around Binghamton, New York. And then over a foot in Syracuse. That's quite interesting there. So we'll watch this storm as it unfolds. All right, let's take a look at the overall upper air pattern. This really gives us a good idea of what's going on. Let's get it back to, here we go. This is better. Friday. TGIF. Here is that trough across the eastern part of North America. Ridge developing out west here. Look at that. Most of the country in above average temperatures here. Front moved through the northeast, so that's expected troughiness. But I'm not really seeing a whole lot of blocking up here in Greenland. We have a little troughiness here. Very zonal flow here across the northern part of the U.S. through Sunday there. And then we start to get that next trough here into Tuesday. Ridge starting to form out west. We'll have to watch that because that's always... But then we do have another digging trough out here. So in response to that, we start to get some blocking up here in northeastern North America. This is for Tuesday of next week. And let's take a look at what it's showing right around the time of that storm system next week. It'd be right in the Thursday, Friday time frame. It's actually showing ridging developing here. So this is interesting. If we see some sort of snowstorm in the northeast for your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame, it's going to be occurring under ridging conditions here. So that doesn't give me much hope that anything that would develop out of this system would be anything major. So we'll have to watch it. It would be more of an overrunning event, according to the GFS, more of a coastal event, according to the CMC. But look at that. By Friday, this is not very encouraging for people who love snow in the east. This is Saturday, December 11th. Really starting with that digging trough out west. Big ridge back east. And look at this troughiness up here in Greenland. This is not good if you're looking for east coast snowstorms. And look at that. That ridge intensifies throughout the weekend into the following week. That's not really encouraging there. Let's see if the CMC is showing anything different here. Let's back it up to, here we go. So we have, this is all thanks to tropicaltidbits.com. Look at that. We put the trough into motion, ridginess, very zonal here into North America, as was we saw on the GFS. Big ridge off the west coast here. Trough kicks in for Monday across the midsection of the country. Not much blocking. In fact, no blocking up here. Blocking up here in Nova Scotia and Newfoundland up here. But we put this into motion. Look at that. Ah, this is interesting. CMC showing a bit more troughiness going on. Not really as much agreement here. So that kind of puts the brakes on a little bit for me putting out, this is why we don't put out exact snowfall totals this far out. There's some disagreement here. You wouldn't have seen it on the surface model data. It's showing up here on the upper air pattern. There's a bit of a disagreement here between the CMC and the GFS. So that's what I wanted to look at here. CMC is much more troughy, much more stormier, but there's one thing that it does agree with the GFS on, and that's no blocking up here. So that's one thing, that's one common denominator here. All right, let's take a brief look at precipitation totals here across North America. Up in the Pacific Northwest, we got a lot of storminess, but here across the east, we have that system across the southeast. This takes us through, this is Wednesday, or late Tuesday of next week, December 7th, so not too much in the way of action. There's a lot of dry areas here, especially from Florida up to Virginia, but we do have that system across the northeast, that first system. So the second system isn't really showing up here on the precipitation map, but most areas generally a half an inch or less liquid equivalent. And taking a look at John from the Islip, New York area. Snow and sleet across the area on November 29th. Take a look at that, some snow and sleet across his portion of New York State here. So nice captures here on Long Island, Islip, New York. Probably the first snow and sleet of the season. Robert Stone, thank you for sending me these photos from November 26th. He had some snow descending upon his area. You can see it off in the distance there. Let's put this into motion. You can see it moving in there. And look at that. It's getting more cloudy. You can see the snow moving in. Look at off in the distance there. You can see that band of snow, those lake effect snow bands really kicking off the lake. And look at that. Nice captures there, Robert. So taking a look at snowfall accumulations, this takes us through Friday all the way through the weekend and into Monday night, and early Tuesday. This does not include the storm system for next Wednesday and Thursday. So we take a look, most of this occurring later Monday into Tuesday. This will occur across parts of eastern Ohio, Pennsylvania, especially northern and western Pennsylvania, upstate New York, especially up into northern upstate New York, northern New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, and into Quebec and southern Ontario. These areas will see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, maybe closer to 4.5 inches on the backside of the system as lake effect kicks up. A lot of this does not include, the tremendous lake effect that could occur on the backside, but a lot of this is synoptic snow that will be occurring on the backside of the system. And taking a look at your upper air pattern, you can see there is ridging going on out west here, and the trough continuing to slowly try to reinforce here across the northeast. But you have to admit, it could be a lot colder for this time of year, especially across the east, and we're just not seeing that real cold Arctic air take place here. And here we go, Friday across the northeast. We are not looking too bad, pretty average for this time of year. Most areas getting some clouds and sun, but we will see the second cold front here pushing across the Lake Ontario, Adirondacks, and the St. Lawrence River Valley region. We will see some scattered rain and snow showers developing throughout the day, mostly some lake enhanced variety here, less than an inch in all of those blue shaded areas, though. Getting warmer towards the coast, though. There we go, 46 in New York City, 53 in Atlantic City, 45 in Boston, but 35 in Binghamton and Syracuse, so those are the cooler spots. 30 is the cold spot there in Burlington. And here we go, Friday across the southeast. We got some storminess here to the west. We are getting up into the 80s in Houston. And look at that, the rest of the Gulf Coast, 73 in New Orleans, Panama City, 73, as well as 78 in Tampa and 80 in Miami. To the north, even pretty warm, well above average. We're Norfolk, 62 north of the front, 71 in Raleigh, and 76 in Atlanta. So the places that will be the trouble spot, showers and thunderstorms, nothing really too severe, but in that darker shaded green in northeast Texas and northwestern Louisiana, that's probably the greatest risk of 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain in some of those gully washers. And Saturday across the northeast, we have the next system moving in. It's kind of like a clipper type system. So we'll see some snow on the northern side, north of the warm front, places like Burlington, Concord, and Bangor, Maine. Less than an inch, though. And then we'll see a mixed rain and snow mix scattered throughout Syracuse, Buffalo, the Lake Erie plain over towards Erie. And most areas will be some clouds and sun outside of that range of precipitation. Binghamton up to 38, 48 in New York City, 49 in Harrisburg, and 43 in Boston. Colder to the north, though, and that snow, 29 in Burlington and 30 in Bangor, Maine. And Saturday across the southeast, the storm system sinks to the south here, so the showers and thunderstorms will move into places like New Orleans, just west of Birmingham, most of Mississippi throughout the day. Nothing severe, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch as low pressure moves across northern Texas. And then you see low pressure moving off the coast there northeast of Norfolk. But temperatures will continue to stay above average here across the south. So many areas getting into the 70s, places like Atlanta, Birmingham, and further south as well. And Sunday across the northeast, we are getting warmer. We're on the backside of high pressures that crest just east of New York City and Long Island here throughout the day. We do have that stationary front slowly inching to the northeast here ever so slightly, bringing warmer temperatures. You see that 50 in Erie, Pennsylvania, 52 in Pittsburgh, and 42 in Binghamton. We will be warming into the 40s in Albany and Boston as well. 50s in Atlantic City. Look at that. That's the warm spot. Double Nickels, 55. And here we go, Sunday across the southeast. Frontal boundary slipping even further to the south, mostly south of most of the Gulf Coast, except not clearing Florida. And we have showers and thunderstorms continuing across the south here. It will be a little bit more disorganized, so to speak, places like Louisiana, Mississippi, and up into places such as just north of Atlanta here. Anywhere from 1/4 inch or less is likely. And in South Florida as well, we could see a stray shower or thunderstorm. Temperatures staying warm, though. 69 in Atlanta, 71 in Birmingham. Even staying warm here up towards Norfolk, 62. 67 in Nashville. Wow, 79 in Houston, and 84 is the warm spot south of the front in Miami. And here we go, Monday across the northeast. We have that big front slicing through the northeast. So these will be early high temperatures. especially west of Interstate 81 in upstate New York and Pennsylvania. Places like Binghamton, Syracuse, State College, Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, Erie, Buffalo, these are your morning highs, so to speak, because throughout the day as that front moves through, temperatures will be taking a tumble. So all that rain, that green, will be moving to the east, and any leftover rain changes to mixture and then eventually snow. So we could see 1 to 2 inches at least in a lot of these pink shaded and fuchsia shaded areas. So you want to stay tuned for this. We'll have to see how much moisture ends up on the backside of the system once the front comes through. These are not the best scenarios to see significant snow accumulations, so that's why I'm not really red flagging this at the moment. However, this is a chance to get a couple slushy inches on the backside of the system. So I'll keep you tuned here and keep you zoned in on this system. So we'll take a look at this system in further detail as we get closer to it, but there you have it. Rain changing to snow. So we'll probably see about a quarter to half an inch of rain followed by a slushy inch or two of snow accumulation throughout the day and into the evening. All right, your Monday across the southeast, not looking too bad here. We have a cold front pushing across the southeast. Little fanfare there, 20 to 40% chance of a shower or thunder shower, especially along the Gulf Coast regions. Even some little snowfall mixing in portions of western Virginia and West Virginia up there. You can see it up there in the pink. Rain mixing with snow later in the day. Temperatures will continue to be above average, though, even though we'll be falling. 48 is the cold spot, though, Nashville. But 62 in Atlanta. It will be an early high. 74 in Panama City, 80 in Tampa, and the warm spot is 85 in Miami. And my extended outlook from hometown viewers, Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania and all points in between. Take a look at Friday through Tuesday here. Friday, we start off with some scattered snow showers, mainly coming off the lake, some lake enhancement, less than an inch most areas, though. Heading up towards 35, low of 29, pretty average for this time of year into Saturday. We have some clouds rolling in. There will be some morning sun, though, so get out there and enjoy it. Up to 38, low of 25. Sunday, a cold start, 21. 42, though, getting up there above average. Clouds will be rolling in from the west and maybe a stray shower in western areas, especially over towards Elmira on westward. And then for your Monday, this is Sunday night into Monday. The rain moves in, rain and wind, but the cold front will push through probably around noon or 1 p.m., changing any rain that's left over behind the front to snow showers, probably maybe up to an inch or two. And then Tuesday, we will see some clouds and sun up near 35 degrees. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button, like button, bell button. Like me on social media, MeteoMark, also Weather Northeastern, also Hurricane Northeastern, also on Twitter at Weather Eastern, MeteoMark.com, and WeatherNortheastern.com. Thanks for joining me.